Right now, you're deciding whether to keep watching this video or scroll away. At least, that's what it feels like. But Albert Einstein would tell you that decision was already made at the Big Bang. You were always going to either keep watching or click away. There is no real choice. Your brain is just atoms following the laws of physics, and those atoms were set in motion 13.8 billion years ago. Here's where it gets weird. Einstein couldn't tell you which decision you'll make. He couldn't predict your future, but he absolutely believed that whatever you end up doing was predetermined. So if you keep watching, it was fate. If you leave right now, that was also fate. Either way, you never had control. This isn't some ancient philosophy. This is what the man who discovered relativity, who bent space-time with his mind, genuinely believed about reality. Today, we're not just talking about Einstein's famous equations. We're diving into what he actually believed, his philosophy about fate, free will, God, and how we should live. Why did Einstein think your entire future is already written? What did he believe about religion? Why did he warn us about dangers we're still ignoring? And what was his advice for living a meaningful life? By the end, you'll understand not just what Einstein discovered, but what he believed about existence itself. Most people know Einstein had crazy hair and came up with E = mc squared, but most people don't know what he actually believed about reality. And once you understand his worldview, you'll never see your own life the same way. Let's start with who Einstein actually was. He wasn't born a genius. We all know he didn't talk until he was 4 years old. But Einstein had something different: obsessive curiosity. As he later said, "I have no special talents. I am only passionately curious." When he was 16, he asked himself a strange question. What would happen if you could ride on a beam of light? Most people would forget about this in 5 minutes. Einstein spent 10 years thinking about it. And that one weird question led him to shatter everything humanity thought we knew about time and space. Let me quickly explain what Einstein actually discovered, because understanding his theories helps you understand his beliefs. First, special relativity in 1905. Einstein proved that time doesn't flow the same for everyone. If you're moving fast, time literally slows down for you. This isn't philosophy, it's measurable physics. Astronauts on the International Space Station age slightly slower than people on Earth because they're moving at 17,500 miles per hour. Why does this matter? GPS satellites orbiting Earth have to account for this time difference using Einstein's equations, or your Google Maps would be off by miles. Second, E = mc squared. Einstein showed that mass and energy are the same thing. A tiny bit of mass contains enormous energy. This is why nuclear power plants work. They convert a small amount of uranium into massive amounts of electricity. It's also why atomic bombs are so devastating. Third, general relativity in 1915. Einstein proved that gravity isn't a force pulling you down. Massive objects like Earth bend space and time itself, and you're falling through that curve. This theory predicted black holes, the Big Bang, and gravitational waves, all later proven correct. Einstein wrote, "What I see in nature is a magnificent structure that we can comprehend only very imperfectly, and that must fill a thinking person with a feeling of humility." These discoveries gave us nuclear energy, GPS navigation, solar panels, and our entire understanding of the universe's origin. But Einstein's beliefs about what his theories meant, that's where things get truly unsettling. Here's what Einstein believed that most people don't know. Your entire future already exists. Not will exist, it already exists, right now. Einstein's relativity showed him that past, present, and future are all equally real. Time doesn't flow like a river. Instead, all of time exists at once, like a loaf of bread. We experience life one slice at a time, but the whole loaf is already baked. Einstein called this the block universe. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine a movie on a DVD. Every scene, the beginning, middle, and end, already exists on that disc. When you watch it, you experience the scenes in order, but they're all there simultaneously. Einstein believed reality works the same way. When his lifelong friend Michel Besso died, Einstein wrote to Besso's family, "Now he has departed from this strange world a little ahead of me. That means nothing. People like us, who believe in physics, know that the distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. Think about what this means for your life. Every decision you will make tomorrow already exists somewhere in space-time. The person you'll marry, the job you'll get, the mistakes you'll make, all of it is already out there in the future, as real as yesterday's memories. You're just experiencing it moment by moment because you're stuck moving through time at 1 second per second. This leads to Einstein's most disturbing belief: you don't have free will. Einstein believed the universe is completely deterministic. Every particle follows strict laws of physics. Your brain is made of particles. Therefore, your thoughts, your choices, your entire life, all of it was set in motion at the Big Bang and is just playing out like dominoes falling. Let me show you what Einstein meant with a real example. Let's say you're about to take an important exam tomorrow. You're studying right now, trying to decide whether to study for 1 more hour or go to sleep. Einstein would say, whatever you choose was already determined billions of years ago. The atoms in your brain, the electrical signals in your neurons, the feeling of tiredness, all of this is following the laws of physics with perfect precision. You feel like you're choosing, but you're actually just a very complex machine doing what the laws of nature force you to do. If you study for another hour, it's because the particles in your brain were always going to arrange themselves that way. If you go to sleep, that was also predetermined. Either way, you never had real choice. Here's the trap. You can't prove Einstein wrong. If you say, "I'll prove I have free will by doing something random," and you slap yourself in the face, Einstein would just say, "You were always going to do that. The atoms in your brain were always arranged in a way that would lead to that exact random action." No matter what you do, Einstein's worldview says it was predetermined. As Einstein wrote in a 1932 essay, if the moon, in the act of completing its eternal way around the Earth, were gifted with self-consciousness, it would feel thoroughly convinced that it was traveling its way of its own accord. So would a being, endowed with higher insight and more perfect intelligence, watching man and his doings, smile about man's illusion that he was acting according to his own free will. Think about that. Einstein believed you're like the moon orbiting Earth, following a predetermined path, but having the illusion you're choosing your direction. But then, in the 1920s, younger physicists developed quantum mechanics, and quantum mechanics said Einstein was wrong. Quantum theory discovered that at the smallest scales, the universe is random. Particles don't have definite positions until you measure them. Radioactive atoms decay at unpredictable moments. Reality itself has uncertainty built into it. This means the future genuinely isn't written yet. There's real randomness, real possibility, real choice. Let me give you a concrete example of the difference. Imagine your friend says he's going to flip a coin in 5 minutes, and if it lands heads, he'll quit his job. If it lands tails, he'll stay. Einstein's view. The coin flip was determined at the Big Bang. The exact atoms in the coin, the air currents, the muscle movements in your friend's thumb, all of this will unfold in the only way physics allows. The outcome already exists in the future. Your friend has no real choice. He thinks he's choosing, but he's just acting out a script written by the laws of physics 13.8 billion years ago. Quantum mechanics view. The coin flip involves particles behaving randomly at the quantum level. Until the coin lands, both outcomes exist in a kind of blurry superposition. The future doesn't exist yet. It gets created in real time. Your friend's choice is genuinely free because randomness is fundamental to reality. Einstein hated this. He hated it so much that he spent 30 years fighting quantum mechanics. In a famous letter to physicist Max Born, Einstein wrote, "God does not play dice with the universe." Niels Bohr, one of quantum mechanics' founders, shot back, "Einstein, stop telling God what to do." Einstein lost this fight. Every experiment we've done confirms quantum mechanics is correct. Einstein died in 1955, still refusing to accept it. The man who revolutionized our understanding of space and time couldn't accept that reality might be fundamentally uncertain. But here's what's fascinating. Einstein might have been partially right after all. His determinism works perfectly for big objects, planets, stars, galaxies. Earth will orbit the sun tomorrow not because it's choosing to, but because it's following the curve of space-time. No free will needed. Quantum randomness works for tiny particles, electrons, atoms, photons. But you, a human being, you're made of quantum particles arranged in large-scale structures. So which rules apply to your choices? We still don't know. That's the question Einstein died trying to answer.